Okay, so we focused on video a lot, ways you can utilize it, reasons it'll save you time, how it can be good for not just you, but also your students. And just, with that, I think a couple things that I may have forgotten to mention is this is a great way to differentiate instruction. Now, video is not going to replace, obviously, great teaching and that one-on-one investment time for reteaching or whatever the case may be, but to have that extra layer of support to say, hey, go watch this, pause it, rewind it, and just to be able to know that you've done everything possible to help the student succeed. With that, this isn't just something for, kids at the top rank of the class or whatever the case may be. This is something for all students because, we all know all students can learn, but sometimes some students aren't successful in the classroom just because they're not great or don't care about the things that we value, right? So, but there are some kids who are creative and expressive in different ways, and this might engage them in your class and with your content in ways that have never been before. So just kind of letting them know, regardless of instructional level or whatever the case may be, I think you'll be surprised that how this might engage some students who normally aren't successful in your class or just normally aren't engaged with your class. So I'm going to walk you through WeVideo, and really this is a way for your students to create some incredibly professional looking projects if they'll invest the time in it, or also for you to really piece some things together for some of your videos you may be doing for different reasons. So when you get to WeVideo, you're going to log in, and you're going to use login with Google. Now, the first time you'll choose your school account, the first time you log in, though, your students will get a screen that says basically all the payment options. They're going to click try. That's basically gives them free access because this is a free program to the left. And that spot on the left is going to give them a place to put in a code, and they will put in a code that I send you. So before your project starts, you're going to give them that code, and that way they can join and get premium features, which is great. We're paying for it, so why not use them? And then, since it's tied to their Google account, it syncs to Google Drive. It syncs to the app, so they actually have an app. So if they're on a mobile device, they can log in and work on their project a little bit. And so that's one of the reasons that I mentioned I think this is the #1 program. I've got other programs, Final Cut, Adobe Premiere, that if you search for top video programs, they're going to show up at the top of the list. But when you think about our purposes, this really is the best option. And the great thing is you're not missing out on anything. Like if I didn't have access to those two programs, we're already used to them, I would probably be using this, and I think you'll see why. So you're not missing out on anything by not having access to whatever software can be installed on a Mac, okay? And I think you'll see it. So you've got that option. And here's the other thing. So when you go and create a project, you got this little plus sign. They can actually create a collaborative project. So what that means is it gives them a shared media folder so that they can all be working on different clips, taking footage, things like that, but then they can upload it to that shared media folder for the project. Now, it's not like a Google Doc where you can all be working on the timeline at once, but they can get in and out as they need to, or work it out however they want to as a group, and maybe have one person put the final product together of all the clips. But the great thing is they can collaborate. The other thing is, so when you are in your media folder and you want to add media, you can do it from Google Drive. So one thing I always suggest to students and even to you is whatever you film on a phone or an iPad, you can upload that to Drive, and then from there you can access it. And you can even create like a shared Drive folder. Maybe as a team or department, share some things. Or again, as a group project, you can share stuff. So you can see for you and for students how easy and seamless it is to share things back and forth and put these projects together. So there's that option. Now, I'm going to go ahead and create a new project, and I'm just going to call it Testing WeVideo. And then I'm going to choose personal for this one, but you could choose collaborative. If you choose collaborative, it just gives you a link to invite. So one person would then actually create would create the project and then invite everyone else. Now, I always choose horizontal because it looks nice in HD. They do have templates, but honestly, even though it's nice, they've got everything clipped up and got some animations and overlays ready to go. I just think that this blank is just a great way to start into creative options, and it's so simple to use. Now, a couple things. So they have this stock footage here, and the great thing is you can search all sorts of stuff. So if I search animals, there's this stock footage, and it is quality stuff. Like I would have to pay $5 to $20 for some of this stock footage. You can even go sports. And so let's say you've got them doing a commercial, or let's say you're like doing an intro video for a unit, and you just want to kind of voice over and you're talking about the human body or activity or energy or whatever the case may be. You can do this, and you could sit here and drop these clips in and then do voiceovers over them. I'll show you how to do voiceovers in just a second. And so you get some of these options. I'm going to try something that I search sometimes, and we'll see if it shows up. Ooh, abstract, cool. So if you just want some fun, weird motions and things like that, well, that's a little rough. So you can do that. Or I know some of you, sometimes you'll have kids do commercials or like news broadcasts. There's things like that. So breaking news intros or something like this, just a nice news broadcast background that you can stick in there. Now you also have within that the ability to edit and change things. I'll show you that with a clip. And then the audio, there's an audio track here. So with audio, they have also, same thing, high quality pre-made sound that's free. There's premium, and guess what? We have access to the premium. And it's all in nice categories to help the kids choose the right thing for their project. And all you do is just grab it, drag it, drop it. That's pretty much over and over again. Drag it and drop it. And you can do that. You can also do scissors and clip things, be it audio or video. And so super simple, super easy to use. Now, there is this option here where you can choose to fade it in or fade it out if you wanted to. Or with everything, you also have this pen tool. Now, what I'm going to do with the pen tool is I'm actually going to drag some random footage I have here in my media. I don't know why it's red right now, but this is just something we did for Book of the Month at the elementary. Now, if you didn't have that in there, you can do it from your drive here, okay, or from your computer if you've got it saved. This is where you can record actually using either you can record your screen or you can record the webcam. So remember we talked about screenshot videos? This is another way to do that. Or you can do it from a webcam and have a nice little, first person talking, teaching video. And you could do different clips that way. Now, the other thing is, here's your voiceover. So this is where you can record voice. Now you may be thinking, but I've already used my songs. Well, you've got this plus sign, and you can actually add another audio track. And then from there, you can do a voiceover on this one, and then you could mix the levels or whatever you want to do. You can actually also add another video track. And so what I can do is now I can have, let's say, a background, my actual footage, and then I can come into here. Let me see if I can find it. It always takes me a couple times. And I've got these different kind of overlays that I can drop in. So if you want to have fun, nice little, Batman video from the 70s, you can do that. There's also this nice little text overlays. Now you've seen these in iMovie, and I always tell these kids that because most of them use iMovie. So you'll see some familiarity things, but you can now choose. I think they've got a lot more professional looking ones, a lot more creative ones. And here's the other fun thing. So once you're actually in here, I can change the color scheme and change it to a color if I don't like that blue. And then this is where I can also update that text, change the size, change the font style. And so I've got lots of great, cool editing options that I can go with. Now, let's do the pen tool here. You can scale it. So let's say, for example, I wanted to have that little news feed thing. Oops, sorry, wrong way. The news clip, be a picture or video, whatever it is, I can shrink it and put it up there like an overlay, okay? Now, I don't want to do that. The other thing is, though, I can actually do it in tiles. So let's say you want like a Brady Bunch thing where it's like pop, 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 pop in the corners. You can do that as well on your timeline. And since you've got those extra layers, you can add more video layers. I haven't seen a limit on video layers. I'm sure there is one, but I haven't hit it yet. So you've got that. This is where you can adjust the audio level for your clips, fade in the sound. You can actually have it zoom in, so you can start it at a certain size, finish it at a certain size. You can do color corrections if you wanted to. And then here's the fun thing. So you can pick this little color picker, and then you can do chroma keying, okay? So basically green screen, all right? Now, so there's that. But here's the cool thing. You can actually defringe it. So it's hard to tell, but there's a little shadow back there where it just wasn't perfect because of the lighting and the shadows on the curtain or this sheet we use. So you can clean that up. Now, I've got programs that I pay money for that do that, but this is included. And so again, you can do real professional looking things. The other nice thing is, since it's a color picker, it doesn't have to be green. As long as it's a solid color that your kids are standing in front of that doesn't match their shirt, because if it does, it'll be a floating head, they can drop that color out. And then they can also use that defringe to clean it up, because the lighting's not going to be perfect. There's going to be some shadows, but they can clean it up. And so your kids, again, have no limitations as far as their creativity, and you don't as well. Now, you may be thinking, but it's just a tutorial video. Do I have time to do green screen and all this stuff? Well, if you think about it, you're creating the video once. So why not invest some time, make it really fun, really engaging. throw some stock footage in or whatever, and then go from there. You can also slow down, so fast motion, slow-mo, and do all that kind of stuff. And so here's what happens. You can see very quickly, I've got a professional looking news broadcast, tutorial video, whatever, with overlays, backgrounds, and I can continue to go from there. And it all happens fairly quickly. Now they do have some transitions, and you can always click and edit those as well. So all the similar and familiar things you've seen in other programs, you are not missing. But like I said, they have a lot more options, and I personally think they are a lot more professional and a lot more flexible. Again, the reason I make the bold statement that I think this is the best video editing program available, especially for us in the classroom, in the school, or whatever the case may be. So there's that. Once you're finished, you can actually download it. You can share it through Google Drive, or you can upload it to YouTube, and then it's there. So you see lots of creativity options, ability to add layers, tweak, adjust. One thing I forgot is you can also add effects like blurs and image stabilization and all sorts of cool things. So I encourage you to try it out. If you want me to, I'd love to come in. I can do an abbreviated version of this spill with your kids, or a longer one, and really also talk them through some things that I think about when I make videos, and kind of get them started. Or I can help you as well if you want to get your first screencast video going, or whatever the case may be. So I hope this helps. If you've got any more questions, let me know, and I will talk to y'all soon.